SE that we have right now, 25,000 miles. We're only selling it for $12,990. So very good price point there. But more important thing would just be the components in here that are going to make a big difference for you. So it starts off.
Can I bring one thing that I was always told is to check your battery? What about your battery do you need to check?
So with your battery, what you'll be looking at is, basically in the summertime, your battery here, what you'll see is that, with a battery that's only putting out, a lot less power than it should be, you can get by in the summer months, but come wintertime, that can leave you stranded. I definitely don't want you to be stranded, so what you do in that case, all you have to do is get a volt test done on the battery you have now. They're supposed to last just about every 3 years. So if it's been a little while since your last change, definitely look into that. But if you get a volt test done and the battery's in good shape, then you don't have to be concerned about that aspect for the winter months.
All right, and Dylan, our YouTube listener or watchers got in on this late, so can you
Okay.
tell them what you're going over again?
So right now we're just looking at the components of the vehicle affected by the winter time, because the car doesn't like the cold as much as we don't like the cold. So yeah, what you'll see here, just with the battery specifically, you can have a battery that gets you by in the summer that might not be putting out its full power, that'll leave you stranded in the winter. So getting a volt test done is a big way to know that you have a battery that's putting out the right level of power for you, so you don't have to be concerned about that.
All right, another thing that my dad always used to say is check your antifreeze.
Right, so antifreeze is very important. It's what keeps the engine from freezing, so aptly named antifreeze. You'll have that over here. This is your coolant reservoir. So what you have in there, basically, it makes sure that when the temperature drops, that your engine does not freeze. And a way that a lot of mechanics recommend getting by in the winter months is just that you have a 50-50 mixture of coolant and water, because this actually lowers the freezing point. So when the temperature drops, you're not in trouble.
And is it the same for people in Pennsylvania as it is in Alaska, or is it different?
Well, I mean, it's going to be different based on different climates. But if you're in an area where throughout the winter time you'll see these extreme temperature drops, and Pennsylvania is not uncommon for that. We've seen it. We'll see it this week.
Yep.
That's where you'll definitely want to, see if you can just change your coolant mixture a little bit to make sure you don't run into a problem there.
All right, what about windshield wiper fluid and windshield wipers?
So windshield wipers and wiper fluid is very important. On this Fusion, you have your wiper fluid in here. This nice little blue tube there. And, so starting with the wipers. If you have a squeaker or a streaker, something that's leaving streaks and squeaking for you, those things are definitely, you're going to want to get that addressed. Because you're not making, your wiper's not making full contact with the windshield. That affects your visibility. And when a storm comes, you don't want to have less visibility because it could lead to a crash. And we clearly don't want that for you.
And I recommend keeping windshield wiper fluid in your vehicle in case for some reason you run out of it on a highway or something. You have that.
Yeah, the wiper fluid's going to be a big one too. So what you're seeing, let's say it's first thing Monday morning, you're a little behind, you're running late to work, you go outside and you see frost all over the windshield. What you can do, if you use your wiper fluid, you can get by and get that windshield clear without waiting for it to defrost, but we all don't have that time on those Monday mornings that we get, we're running a little late. So good idea to have it for that, and also just for when you're in inclement weather, all the debris from a snowstorm is going to, make it so you need to use the wiper fluid. It's better to have it when you need it than not have it.
Now, what's another thing that you've learned in the winter months of winterizing and making sure your car is up to the standards it needs to?
So another big point will just deal with your tires. So there's two sides to that, your tire pressure and then the actual tires themselves. When you're looking at tire pressure, every 10-degree drop that you have will lower your PSI in your vehicle by 1 pound per square inch. So, if you have a 30-degree drop, that's 3 PSI. That could be something where you're creating an unsafe condition for yourself. You can do damage to the tires when the PSI is low, with the tread and things like that. So definitely make sure you're on top of your tire pressure. That'll help you a lot if you have the right pressure in there for, when you're driving around in that inclement weather. The other side would be the tires then. So for the tires, what you'll see there is depending on the type of tires you have, when you're in a climate like ours and you have ice and snow on the roads throughout the winter months, it happens every year. Forecasters are off and on about when it's going to happen. They may not always be right, but it does come. So with the all-season tires, if you're somewhere that you're not going to see a lot of ice or snow on the road, then you're in good shape year-round. But in our climate where you have this storm that we have coming, you want to make sure that you have tires with the right tread pattern, and basically you're looking at your all-terrain tires, winter tires, or snow tires.
And what does Ciocca offer here as far as tires?
Well, we always have our buy 3, get 1, so that's a good thing. Buy 3 tires, get 1 free. always good news there. So it's easier to upgrade through us, save you a little bit of money. But at the end of the day, if it's something where you're saying, hey, I can't afford to have 2 sets of tires, what can I do? I want to do something to make myself in better shape. There are zip ties for tires that are online. They're like $20, and that'll at least help you get a little bit more tread if it's something where, from a financial, aspect, it doesn't make sense for you to get new tires at this point.
But I love the all-season tires. I really believe in them. They have a lot of different tread mixture that really helps it.
No, they're good. They're good. Yeah. So I mean, even when you're looking, they give you an advantage year-round. So summertime, you'll get better grip. Wintertime, you have a better time driving through snow. There's a major benefit to those all-season tires. But when you get hit with those major snowstorms, you're going to need something ready, to handle all that accumulation.
And one more question, Dylan.
Yes.
So I've been told by my old school friends that you need to always have your gas tank full in the wintertime. Never have it below at the E. Never, ever.
Right.
What does that mean?
So that's true. It's very true. And a lot of people are like, they always tell me that. Is that just one of those things, parents say? Or it is very important. So your fuel pump, when you have, at least a half tank in there, I would recommend try to keep it at that level. The accumulated water from the snow and the rain, you don't want that to get into your fuel pump and freeze, because that'll do damage, and that's an expensive repair. So nobody wants that. If you can keep it at half a tank or higher, you get the benefit where there's less space for that water to accumulate, less damage, if and when it freezes. And then at the same time, if you do get stuck out in the snow, at least you can keep the car running until roadside assistance, a friend or a family member is able to come out and pick you up.
Yeah, but if you're in the snow, do not keep your car running all the time, and make sure your exhaust is unblocked. So if you are stuck in a storm, you have to pull over. First, look at the exhaust and make sure it's unblocked, all right? And then also make sure you turn it off every once in a while and open your window a little bit. So just be careful. An emergency kit is also important.
Of course.
Yeah,
just in case. I mean, if you want your goldfish there while you're waiting on a friend, then you not only are you
Your
warm,
goldfish,
but you're
yes.
fed.
Not your golden
That would be
retriever,
my
your
first go-to.
goldfish.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let us know if you have any questions to follow up on any of this. We would love to do a separate video for you and answer anything you need.
Absolutely.
Other than that, we will be here next week to talk about something.
Really do appreciate you guys tuning in again. If you could, like or share or subscribe to our YouTube channel.
YouTube.
Make it easier when we put these little factoids out there for you. Keeping track, you'll just get a notification rather than having to scramble for it. So I hope everybody stays warm. I hope you stay safe. And thank you again for tuning in.
Yep. Monday.
Break! Woo, there it is.